feels right. I remember, I think Persona 5 or 3, I named him Baloney.
I charge you with being a little sneak. Death by combat.
Okay, let me remember where I was.
The whole combat and nothing but the combat.
Day 1. And I have to do... Man, I wish I had done... I wish I'd done this the second time I did Cafe's Quest. Are y'all fighting and web fishing?
We were earlier. Now we're just fishing. We're fighting. Now we're fighting fish.
You're fighting with your rods.
Got some. Oh, just one click. All right, easy. All right. Caught a tiny rainbow trout. These fish is gay. Good for them.
Alright, I also...
I do need at some point try out the Vengeance version of Shimuya Tensei 5.
Oh yeah, my understanding is they're pretty much all regardless. Yeah, just like getting better consistently, right?
Yeah. Hey, Scott.
Hey, Scott.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, good.
Hello, Scott.
Hello.
We got a variety of stuff. We got some fishing, some masking, and some Jack Frostin'.
Jack Frost over here.
I'm gonna do some knitting.
Ooh,
knitting.
what are you knitting?
A scarf for an overdue secret Saemons.
Oh.
Oh, you're a naughty boy. Scott.
Yeah.
Mine thankfully came in
gonna,
Christmas Eve apparently, so I'm in the clear.
I got my my gift in the mail, but it was from an online store that I had already thought that I placed an order for almost the exact same items, and I'm like, I don't remember getting these socks, but I do remember getting all the rest. And I started looking through my like email history for a receipt. Couldn't find one. I'm like, I must not have placed the order. This must be the gift. And just by coincidence, 90% what I was planning on doing. So it was a good fit.
It's nice.
I gotta go to the mall tomorrow, and I kind of hate it. But I gotta change some gifts I was given that I did not enjoy.
I mean, this is the weekend to do it. You'll be amongst company. You can make new friends and talk about it's like
I'm gonna make friends at the mall, Jack. I always do when I go to the mall.
You could Mallrats too. They're making it. You could be in it.
To discover.
Wait, didn't they already make Mallrats 2?
No, they've made Clerks 2 and 3.
Oh, it was Clerks 2. Yes, right.
They also did Jay and Silent Bob 2.
I remember Clerks being the movie where it went like, you know what? These hipster guys at school, maybe they don't know what they're talking about. They were all talking about Clerks and how good it was, and then I watched it and I went, okay.
It was fine. I watched them for a podcast I used to be on, so I
don't maintain this opinion so strongly on Clerks now, but it was an opinion I held back then.
I watched Mallrats with Cameron.
Didn't you all hate it? Or
No.
am I?
No.
Is it Chasing Amy the one you hate?
Chasing Amy is the one I hate.
Yeah.
That I understand, given when it came out, had a large following.
Which one is Chasing Amy and which one is Along Came Polly?
Chasing Amy is the Kevin Smith movie with, I think it's Brad Pitt. This was like a breaking out role for him, where he is interested in a woman who says she's a lesbian, but they kind of realize that she's bi, and but it's like in the it's from his perspective, so it's very much of like clueless guy doesn't know how to deal with a non-heteronormative relationship.
Yeah.
Which, again, like, I can understand, like, in the 90s, where that is, like, especially if you are kind of realizing you're not straight, and you're, like, and this is all you got, I can understand why you can get attached to it, but, like, because I had seen this in 2020, you know, with modern context, it is not as impressive to me. But also, I saw that after I saw the Kevin Smith movie he did about the the church one that finally got freed from the Weinstein Company rights.
Is that Dogma?
Dogma, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which, after seeing Dogma, seeing Dogma and then that, it definitely made me go like, I don't know if you needed your wacky stoner characters in Chasing Amy, dude. Like, I was like, I'm getting real sick of these two characters, and then after that I saw their movie, the first Jay and Silent Bob, and I was like, oh lord, heinous, a heinous film. Is certainly an interesting director.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah. Considering his long career, like, he's made a wide variety of films that.
I also should watch Clerks now, because I think I have a much more attuned sensibility to the things that he's trying to do with it.
Well, I mean,
even if it's still a probably very boring movie.
You might get something more out of it, but like, I don't know if it's necessarily boring. I just don't think it's that interesting. I feel like, but it's like I understand the context in which, you know, when it came out.
Yeah, that sort of movie becomes so popular.
Yeah, it's like and that's what I tried. That's what I try to do more so now, is I try to understand like the circumstances at times. Sometimes I could still just say meh and move on. You know. I try not to be a hater, but sometimes that's just what you just got to do.
Sometimes there's no choice.
Yeah.
It's a hater.
It's important to be a hater sometimes.
When I think of haters, Jack does not immediately come to mind.
Yeah.
I try to. I try not to be that way.
Huh?
I can get rain boots. I should get a quick hand. And at the same time, I should probably upgrade my fishing skills more before I.
It's so tempting to just spend all of your money just on your appearance and ignore the fishing mechanics for like your first several hours of play.
What is the fishing mechanic in web fishing?
It's surprisingly simple. It's like so you start off, you hold click to like pull out your lure.
Mhm.
And then once into the water, once I get a catch, there'll be like a little meter that will pop up. And you will basically hold down your left click until you reach like a roadblock, and you have to mash a certain number of times to get past it. And then you just keep going through until you've caught the fish.
I feel like why have game developers still not figured out that like mashing is bad and inaccessible?
Does it not have a hold down alternative? I know a lot of recent games have started to do that, but
I could see if there's. Well, Ethan, you probably know more than me.
So I don't think there's a hold down alternative, but one of the main upgrade mechanics you do is upgrading a stat that means for every click you get not just one, but you get like more and more and more. So whenever I click, it counts for 20 clicks. Um, so it's not the same as an accessibility feature, and I do think that is an oversight, but I'm not really out here button mashing because I've upgraded that stat so that I don't have to.
so there's not like higher level fish that you need it for or anything?
There are, I'm just outpacing them.
Okay.
Yeah,
too
I
good.
feel like I thought we had kind of like hit a point where like game devs were not doing button mashing anymore. And then I've just been seeing it in a lot of games recently.
I think
Final
part of
Fantasy-
the. Oh, so you go
Sorry,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just saying,
said-
Final Fantasy 15 had a great fishing minigame. You could just steal that. It wasn't button mashing. You had to pull one way and then the other to match the fish.
I wonder part if it's just also due to there was a point in time where quick time events were much more common in kind of the games of the time,
Yeah.
and I feel like as more games come out on a regular basis, and like I guess as stylings change, like that the quick time thing has changed dramatically. Like I think to like Final Fantasy 16 and its quick time events are very much just you have a very long period of time where all you have to do is just press a single button and that's it. It's also because like the character action genre hasn't been as, busy lately. So those were the folks that were really doing button mashing.
The only ones that were really doing something important in character action the last 10 years were Platinum, and they don't exist anymore. So
Yeah, that's really
Really?
They,
don't?
they've had this year like a
they
massive
exist, but
exodus.
they're not the same company. It's not the same people anymore.
Yeah,
Most-
they have had
for
a
the most part.
massive exodus of talent. This past year alone, like it really started like when there was a bigger pivot internally from high management that they wanted them to do games as a service, like
Ooh,
like more games that are not like what you would expect from that studio. Because again, I understand at least the mindset like they are trying to survive. It's just,
I mean, the
you
games
have
of
you have
service.
you,
The
you
game
have
of service thing, though, it hasn't panned out for anyone but like the first three that got to the
yeah,
thing.
that's the thing is that like that's a genre that like if it doesn't hit, you are in big trouble, and
You're dead. You're
and,
Concord.
and also like the people you hired were all joined because they wanted to make games that weren't that.
Real
Yep.
quick, is anyone familiar with this franchise? Know who this Cat and Devil Hunter are? Because these are new for Nocturne, I think. But I don't know if they're.
This guy. I have his games.
Oh yeah.
Let me pull out. Let me see here. Those are the Devil Summoner spin-off games for Shin Megami Tensei. So these came out on the PS2 as well. There were several. The PS2 was home of like multiple Shin Megami Tensei spin-offs. Like you had obviously your Persona games. They didn't start on the PS2, but like the most foundational ones were on there. But you
Mm.
also had Digital Devil Saga. You had, the Devil Summoner, obviously of mainline. So in this case, they just chose him. Devil Summoner, Devil Summoner was like a bit more of an action game
Oh yeah.
from what I remember. I would love for them to make another one someday.
Well, it looks like he's summoned the devil.
Uh, he looks like Morag in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. The
Um,
only the only good thing about Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
he is his ancestor is the detective from Persona 4, one of the is it Makoto? Is that her?
Uh,
Is that their name?
Sergio is
Makoto
Xenoblade
is the
Chronicles
wife,
2 that
sure. But yeah, she's the
different
Oh
enough
wait, no,
for
not who's the detective kid in
Uh,
4?
detective in
sorry,
P4 is Martha.
sorry, Moth, I didn't
That's it
get that.
then.
Oh, I don't know anything about the Xenoblade franchise. I assumed that they all kind of played the same though.
It's kind of different. I was exaggerating a little bit, but the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is not bad because it plays badly. It's bad because it's
Yeah,
ah
it, it's in part.
everything beautiful about plot and theming and character that Xenoblade 1 and Xenoblade 3 have is
Hmm.
is mostly not there in 2.
Mm.
Xenoblade
Main reason.
2 has a very different tone and vibe,
Yeah.
and it feels like a different audience it's trying to
It
go for, which I understand also because it was for a lot of people their first Xenoblade game. I can understand what makes someone like be it, because again, like everything, I can understand why people can really latch on to that game because that's their first one, but
I'll just say I would have been very, very, very disappointed if it had been the last Xenoblade. I would have been
yeah, I would have as well.
it would have
It
been a
was
huge bummer.
yeah, the original Xenoblade has a very I still believe it is one of the greatest JRPGs ever made. Like it.
Same, same. And 3 is up there too. By the way, has anyone heard of the Secret Level series?
The Secret Level series. I don't.
It's the new
No.
that bad Netflix Love, Death and Robots thing.
Uh,
But this
Wait,
one,
the TV show. I've heard of it.
yeah,
Yes, yes, yes.
the TV
uh,
show that's like all shorts based on video games.
Yeah.
yeah, my bad movie club has been trying to convince. There's been more than one person in that
Moth,
club trying
you
to convince
should
everyone else to watch it.
100% do it.
It looks miserable.
Here's-
I
So
mean,
I
like, I
watched
know
like
we're a bad movie club, right? Like, so there's a certain amount of like embracing that, but also like we watch
so
a bad movie every week. That's already enough.
I will say there's like 2 of the 17 shorts that are like eminently watchable. Not a bad time.
Which ones?
Maybe 3. The Warhammer one is not horrible if you don't dislike Warhammer. The Unreal Tournament one is, I guess, okay. The Mega Man one is decent.
Wait,
Same with the Armored Core one.
this
Um,
mask is just a tiny head sewn on top of my head.
I love. I
Oh, the
always love
dancer
that. Yeah, the
mask?
dancer hat's good.
Yeah.
that's some leather.
That happens when you
shit.
embrace the dance.
But the thing that I wanted to mention about this is that the second season, I mean, they both came out roughly at the same time, but this thing came out like December 10th,
Uh-huh.
and it has a Concord episode.
It
That's right.
does.
I heard that.
It's
That's so unfortunate.
it's
Yeah.
so funny.
I'm amazed that Sony let them keep that. I considering for everything
I
else,
mean,
they like eradicated that game from existence.
yeah, I mean, I guess there must have been some contractual obligations there where they went, yeah,
That
letting
that
this
that
exist
yeah. I mean,
is better for a bottom line.
I it's like it feels weird that like for the folks that like worked on the game, that's like the only evidence of their work.
The game
Is
never
this a really bad TV show series? It's not even. Yeah, it's a series of shorts, right? Not even full episodes.
Yeah, they're barely 15 minutes long, each of them.
Oh, I would have thought they would at least be like
Moth, Moth, you have to tell me what your Bad Movie Club makes of the Pac-Man episode.
All right. Well,
It's
okay.
the
I'll,
Pac-Man
I'll,
episode is just it's fucking wild.
is
the,
is
the
that the
Pac-Man
one
episode is
that's
the one that I've had the least bit of interest in because of that old YouTube video. Was it a YouTube video or was it Vine where like Pac-Man comes out and is like saying like a bunch of curse words? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about. This is not what happens in the short. I really don't know what you're talking about. So
All right.
I do find the that oddly sounds like that sounds oddly funny to me, but not like in the intentional way. We're just like imagining like a full budget like Pac-Man adaptation, and you just have a wisecracking Pac-Man. Like
there is no wisecracking Pac-Man in a way. I think it would a wisecracking Pac-Man would be better.
I feel like and maybe it's only because like when I think of something like that, it's like, oh, that they just made Pac-Man Gex. Like that's just what. Really, that's just what I want. I want the
Oh,
Gex.
did they not
movie
do
to
a Gex
happen.
episode?
Yeah, where's the Gex episode?
No,
It
if you
needs
see
to-
the list of like the franchises that they decided to like base it on, like yeah, the Concord is on the list, but also like I don't know, a lot of it is just a handful of it is remember video game. Do you know what a video game is? Here's one, and then the rest are like games that I've like were commercial flops.
Are you
okay.
talking about Secret Level?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of these that are clearly just just a publicity stunt, right? Just marketing.
I'm looking through some of these games, and some of these are. It's like the first episode's Dungeons and Dragons, which I mean, again, there's so many of franchises within that.
yeah.
So I
You
feel
have-
like that's kind of like I don't know if that really. I feel like already. I kind of wish that was based on something more specific.
So there's one based on the Amazon MMO New World. There's one based on Outer
Unreal-
Worlds 2.
They made one for Unreal Tournament. That's great.
Yeah, the
I-
Unreal Tournament one is honestly very watchable.
I
there's-
honestly, oh man, some of these are so good.
There's
Some of
one
these are.
for the new game by the creators of one of the creators of Mass Effect, which looks just like more Mass Effect.
Isn't
which
that
is
the one?
Exodus.
Isn't that the one that got canceled?
No, there's another one that's by one of the creators of Mass Effect that.
Oh,
that
that's
got
right.
canceled, but it's not this one.
Okay.
And all of those just feel like extended marketing, like moves. And the Conqueror one, of course, which is still so funny.
I need to go back to what was the other one that the cop they have one for Crossfire, which it's like the choices they made are fascinating. Like,
Aren't
like,
they?
I think it's fascinating in a different way to me. Like it's fascinating in like why they chose these specific series. Like some of these are you're correct, like very much like remember video game, but like it's a mix of things that are relevant and like something that must have been like I can't imagine the fights that occurred of like I am making an Unreal Tournament episode where like that game has not mattered in like
I really feel like this is just who is giving us money to make this thing. I think that's really the main criteria here.
I just think that's because it's like you would think instead like Epic would want them to make a Fortnite episode.
That makes sense. Yeah.
That's because that's them. Like Epic's, Unreal and Fortnite. So it's like
I honestly don't. I also have never heard of this Honor of Kings video game before. which looks like a League of Legends copy.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like some of these are like because it's like Crossfire, for example, if I remember right. I think that game is like very popular.
I think it's a Korean version of Counter Strike.
Yeah, it's like it was It's like
I think I
that.
played this
It,
at
it,
some
it
point
had
in my life.
like Remedy made a story mode for it that was not well received.
Really? Didn't know that.
But like, and I think that version's gone. So it's like that was also like around the time where they were starting to get into like they were in the middle of their upcoming resurgence. So that was just like a death for hire situation for them. They made one for Playtime that's just like for PlayStation in general. I thought they were. I was like, oh, they just decided to make an episode dedicated to the French comedy Playtime. Oh boy, that felt like such a swerve to me. All right, let me. Sergio, are you here for the long haul?
For tonight?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to bed in like 30 minutes. Why?
Okay, let me. I meant to show you this last time. I need to show you this dinosaur fighting scene from the movie Heart and Yummy that we
Oh,
watched.
okay. Sure.
I need you to see this to understand why I was very obsessed about making sure people could get a chance to see it, because it is hard. It is difficult to get access to, and it is a shame because it is a banger. All right, let me see if I can.
You
see if I
still
can-
chasing the monkey's tail?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
You talking to me? We're out of fresh monkey's tail. I'll have to do more for New Year's Eve.
Okay.
But I have consumed a lot of monkey tail in the last 5 days.
Do you see these movies, Sergio?
Yeah. This is very fluid.
Yeah.
Big jaws come for crying children.
God, this bit. Oh.
This is really good.
And there's like more of that in the movie.
Did they all die?
Most of the. Yeah, it's hardcore.
It's wild.
Yeah, no, it's good. It makes me. It really does make me go like, man, a lot of these other dinosaur movies ain't shit. People complain about the raptors hacking a door open in Jurassic Park, and I'm just like, it's like, yeah, I know they didn't do any sweet, kick flips or anything at all. And they're chumps.
Take that, little foot.
Yeah, little.
Those
You really.
raptors. Jumps.
Too bad about your mom.
His mom would still be alive if he could do those sweet ass, kick moves.
Mom wouldn't still be alive if Hart had anything to say about it.
Yeah. That's really what it just comes down to. Like, I'm tired of these, wimpy dino kids. Get some backbone. Okay, let me see here.
Oh, no, don't kick. It just broke in here, and now you're kicking me out.
Let me make sure I have this playlist together. I'll at least start with the Santa one, Sergio. So before you leave, you'll have
A chance to see it.
little Santa in all his glory. Okay, there we go.
Little Santa.
The last thing I'll share will just be on a YouTube thing because I forgot to add it on my Plex, but that's fine. Okay, let me. I did say I would start with Cocker Ranger. I'm going to start with a short thing, just a nice warm up.
Cool Ranger.
Gonna first check in with we were talking about Mist earlier, so
Oh yeah.
Oh,
of
here we
course.
go.
Oh, this
appropriate.
is
Oh.
Mr. Bill.
Love gaming in the Clinton years.
Oh, are you playing a program?
But you're still free to play. Like this is
The game.
Wait, how do I?
Heck, what the fuck is this? Is this like GameSpot?
Oh, that sequence is so insufferable.
Is this like a missed Let's Play?
no. This
This
was
is an old internet review guy.
Oh, okay.
he was on TV in the '90s in public access.
He's really weird. Like I will never forget his Tomb Raider reviews.
Yeah, I have the audio muted so it doesn't like just randomly show up in the VOD.
Oh, no worries. It...
Alright, I'm gonna do some destruction of private property with this toilet hand, and then I'm just gonna watch the stream.
Sounds good.
Alright.
I'm gonna find a save point and then switch over. But
Oh, why does this toilet hand have the same voice as Mikau? Here, take this, Dee.
Nice hand puppetry.
Yeah, the toilet hand is something.
This is that Deku flower is now public property. No more deed. Okay, so I think I have all of the bomber's notebooks now. Yeah, I got all of those. And then I looked it up and I gotta do I gotta finish Cafe's quest again for the postman. And I unfortunately missed helping the lady. So I'm gonna have to go through one more cycle to get the last mask.
It's still good progress for today.
Yeah. And then what do I have to do? I have the next night for Cafe. I got the letter. Yeah. That's this right here. Oh, right. I have to find an
Oh,
owl.
is that a copy of Risk on the shelf?
Might be.
It looked like Risk, which is kind of surprising because I didn't think that was like an international success.
Risk is
I hear it's very
something
popular in
down here.
Australia.
So if it's I've seen a few copies here, and if I've seen a few copies here, then I have to imagine it's not unheard of elsewhere.